Have you ever noticed that someone can reveal exactly how they feel about you long before they ever come out and say it directly? That is especially true when it comes to women. Before a woman ever admits she has feelings for you, her words will already be telling the story, and if you know what to listen for, you will never have to guess where you stand. Language is more than just a way of exchanging information. It is how people reveal what is happening inside them emotionally. When a woman begins to develop genuine feelings for someone, the way she speaks starts to shift in ways that are subtle but deeply meaningful. Behavioral psychology tells us that emotional attachment tends to leak into a person's language before their conscious mind is even ready to acknowledge it. Relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman has pointed out that the specific words people use with each other are remarkably reliable indicators of how emotionally invested they truly are. Women in particular tend to express their growing feelings through language long before they ever say the words out loud. So if you find yourself wondering whether someone is starting to catch feelings for you, stop looking at the grand gestures and start paying attention to what she is actually saying. Her words are already giving you the answer. By the time you finish reading this, you will understand the specific things women say when emotions are genuinely developing, and you will know exactly what each one means. The final sign is the most telling of all, so make sure you read all the way through because it may completely change the way you think about attraction. The first thing to pay attention to is when she says something like, "It feels like I have known you forever." On the surface, that might seem like a simple throwaway comment, but it is anything but. When a woman says this, she is expressing that being around you feels deeply natural and effortless, as though the emotional connection between you already has history and weight to it. Psychologists have found that women tend to form emotional bonds relatively quickly when they feel genuinely understood by someone. According to Dr. John Gottman's research on relationships, emotional safety is one of the most powerful drivers of romantic attraction. When a woman begins to feel that kind of safety around you, she starts to associate your presence with trust, comfort, and warmth. And those are precisely the feelings that turn into something deeper. When this connection clicks into place, everything about spending time with you starts to feel easy and right to her. If she has only known you for a short time, but she looks at you and says something like, "This is strange. It honestly feels like we have known each other for years," understand that she is not just filling silence with small talk. She is essentially confessing that you have already made a real impression on her emotionally. The right way to respond in that moment is to acknowledge it genuinely without making it heavy. You might tease her a little and ask if she thinks you might have crossed paths in a past life, or you could simply say that you feel the same way. What matters is that she feels seen in that moment, because the more seen she feels, the stronger her feelings will grow. The second thing she might say is that you feel like one of her closest friends, even if you have not actually known each other very long. Before you interpret that as being placed in the friendship category and nothing more, consider what is actually happening beneath the surface. When a woman tells you that she already considers you one of her closest people despite a short amount of time passing, she is signaling a deep level of trust. She is emotionally investing in you, and emotional investment is the necessary foundation that comes before romantic feelings fully emerge. Women are psychologically wired to seek emotional security before physical attraction takes hold. They are naturally drawn to men who make them feel safe, genuinely understood and supported. If she is opening up to you about personal things, sharing parts of herself she does not show most people, or confiding in you about her fears and insecurities, that is her way of emotionally bonding with you. If she says something like, "I feel like I can tell you absolutely anything. You are honestly one of my closest friends," she is not pushing you away. She is telling you that you matter to her in a real and meaningful way. Do not react with disappointment. Instead, stay calm and confident. A response like, "I really value that, and honestly, I think the best relationships always start with a deep friendship," works perfectly here. You are planting a seed in her mind that a true emotional bond is the starting point for something more, without making the conversation awkward or pressuring her. The more comfortable and emotionally secure she feels with you, the more her perception of you will naturally evolve. The third phrase to listen for is when she tells you that you are different from the other guys she has met. This is significant because in the world of attraction, standing out in someone's mind is everything. Women are constantly, and mostly unconsciously, assessing the men around them, trying to identify who is genuinely worth their emotional energy and investment. When she starts comparing you favorably to others and positions you above the crowd, she is telling you that she sees you as high value, someone who has earned a distinct place in her thinking. Psychologists describe this through the concept of selective perception, which is the way that developing emotional attachment causes a person to begin filtering their world through the lens of that connection. Once she starts seeing you as someone genuinely different, she will mentally elevate you above every average interaction she has had. If she says something like, "You actually listen. You are not like most guys I have encountered. You are different in the best way," what she is really communicating is that you are worth her attention and her feelings. A great response here is to be playful rather than just saying thanks and moving on. Say something like, "I will take that as a compliment," and then ask her what exactly she thinks makes you different. This works because asking her to articulate it out loud causes her to consciously list the reasons she is drawn to you, and in doing so, she reinforces her own attraction toward you, whether she realizes it or not. The fourth phrase is when she tells you that she can genuinely be herself around you. Do not underestimate this one. Most people spend a significant portion of their lives presenting a carefully managed version of themselves to the world, one that they believe will be accepted or admired. Dropping that mask requires real trust. When a woman starts showing you her unfiltered, goofy, vulnerable, or quirky side, it means she feels emotionally safe enough to let her guard completely down. Psychologists refer to this as authenticity bonding, which is the deep human desire to connect with people in front of whom we can be completely real. This kind of authenticity is actually the bedrock of lasting romantic attraction. Maybe she starts acting silly around you. Maybe she shares something embarrassing about herself without hesitation. Maybe she simply says, "I have no idea why, but I can just be completely myself with you." When she says something like that, the right move is to acknowledge it warmly while keeping the energy light. Tell her that is genuinely the best compliment anyone can give you, or if she is in a playful mood, match her energy and tell her you want to see the full unfiltered version. When you embrace and celebrate her authenticity rather than making her feel self-conscious about it, she feels even more valued and connected to you. And once a woman discovers she can truly be herself around someone, she is not going to want to let that go easily. The fifth phrase is when she tells you that you make her feel seen and heard. That might sound simple, but the emotional weight behind it is enormous. Women are not just looking to be listened to in the surface level sense. They want to feel that their inner world, their thoughts, their experiences, their emotions genuinely matter to the person they are talking to. Research published in Psychology Today identified emotional validation as one of the most powerful factors driving long-term attraction. When a woman consistently feels heard, she feels safe, valued, and deeply connected to the person providing that space for her. In practical terms, this might look like the following. She shares something personal with you, something meaningful from her past, and instead of trying to fix it or brushing past it, you actually engage. You ask genuine questions, you remember the details, and later you bring something back up that she mentioned in passing, her favorite film from childhood or a dream she has been carrying around. The way she looks at you changes. And then she says it. "You actually listen to me. I feel like you genuinely see me." In that moment, you have created something rare for her. Respond by acknowledging it authentically. Something like, "I think the best connections are built on really understanding each other, and I genuinely love hearing how you think. reinforces to her that you value her perspective, and that only deepens the emotional bond she is forming with you. The sixth phrase to pay attention to is when she says she feels a deep connection with you. The word connection is doing a lot of work in that sentence. This is not surface-level chemistry or shared interests in the same hobbies. This is emotional investment at a serious level. When a woman tells you that she feels a deep connection with you, she is describing something that feels rare and irreplaceable to her, something that goes beyond casual interaction and touches something almost soulful. People do not say this lightly. It is the kind of thing someone says when they genuinely feel that another person understands them at a level most others do not reach. Psychologists call this emotional resonance, which describes what happens when two people's emotional energy aligns in a way that makes them feel completely in sync with each other. You will notice this happening when she starts opening up about deeper and more personal subjects, her fears, her childhood, the things she dreams about for her future. She will bring up conversations you have had before and tell you how much they meant to her. She will start associating you with a sense of emotional fullness. And almost without realizing it, she will be completely attached. When she expresses this feeling, do not downplay it or deflect awkwardly. Lean into it. Tell her that kind of connection is genuinely rare and that what the two of you have feels special. Affirming it makes her feel safe inside her emotions, and that safety accelerates everything she is already feeling toward you. The seventh phrase is when she tells you that she can talk to you about absolutely anything. At first glance, this might seem like it overlaps with the previous sign, but there is a meaningful distinction. Saying she feels a deep connection with you is about the emotional bond itself. Saying she can talk to you about anything is about emotional compatibility, and that is the quality that forms the foundation of long-term attraction and genuinely lasting relationships. Think about how rare that actually is. Most people in our lives are ones we care about, but cannot fully open up to without worrying about being judged or misunderstood. If she is saying this to you, she is telling you that you have become her safe place. She knows she can share anything with you, whether it is serious or ridiculous, whether it is something deep from her past or something totally random she thought about that afternoon, and you will actually receive it. You will notice this starting to happen when she texts you out of the blue just to share something silly, when she asks for your perspective on a real-life decision she is facing, or when she opens up about personal struggles without any hesitation. These are all signs that being able to talk to you provides real emotional fulfillment for her. When she says it directly, respond by embracing even the strangest topic she throws at you, and then add something like, "That is what matters most. I think the best connections are built on that kind of openness." That tells her she is safe to keep sharing, and as she does, her investment in you will continue to grow. There is one final sign that sits above the rest, and it is this: when she tells you that she misses you even though you have not been apart for very long. People do not miss just anyone. Missing someone means they have woven themselves into your emotional landscape, into your thoughts and the rhythm of your days. When a woman tells you she misses you after only a short time apart, what she is actually communicating is that your presence brings her something she notices the absence of: comfort, happiness, a particular kind of ease that she does not get from just anyone. Psychologists explain that emotional attachment develops when a person consistently associates feelings of safety, excitement, and genuine happiness with someone else's presence. As a woman begins to develop real feelings, she starts to feel your absence even when the gap has been brief. Picture this: you spend an evening together, and the very next morning she sends you a message saying she already misses you. She is not just filling conversation. She is showing you exactly where her heart has landed. She is thinking about you, wanting to be near you again, and craving the emotional closeness that only you are providing for her right now. The best response in that moment is warm and uncomplicated. Simply tell her that means a lot and that you miss her too. Confirming those feelings matters because it strengthens the emotional bond between you. And once a woman reaches that level of emotional attachment, that connection does not weaken, it deepens. If any of these phrases sound familiar to you and you have been on the receiving end of them, you now know what they actually mean beneath the surface. And if this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. You never know who is trying to make sense of the signs right in front of them.